Hello, beautiful people out there, and welcome to your daily focus tarot for Wednesday, the 18th of May, 2022. And the money focus. We had a bunch of cards come out again with just the Druidcraft tarot. So that is the only one I'm using today. The Princess of Swords came out in the upright. It's a lovely picture. Some decks call it the Page of Swords. This is talking about thoughtfulness and clarity, being curious, having a thirst for knowledge. Sometimes it can be about information seeking. However, this can also be about stalking in a very negative way, even when it's in the upright. So to me, what she's wrapping her sword. She's putting away her sorry about that. Still having a little trouble after being sick there. She's putting away her ability to, I don't want to say to defend herself, but to defend herself in a certain way. She's putting away her ability to cut somebody else. Underneath that, we had the Star. With her inspiration, her knowledge being poured into the unconscious. You see Stonehenge or some other henge in the background. You see the crescent moon at sunrise and the star to make a wish. So is that... Oh, I thought maybe that was one of the Ursas, one of the dippers, but it's not. Sorry about that. So she's pouring these emotions and this unconscious thought and feeling over the rocks. And here she's tying up, she's binding her cutting thoughts, her cutting ways, her behavior. I also had the Chariot come in sideways, and I did shuffle quite a bit after yesterday's. And I used this for something else in between. But we got the Chariot in sideways again. So the willpower and determination isn't quite in the upright yet. In terms of your money, you're still trying to focus on this dream. You're trying to focus on how to get this happily ever after. And we also had the Ten of Pentacles. Whoa, what is going on? Something is going on. I wonder if it's the candle flame. The candle is being really... The flame is really moving. Okay, so this Ten of Pentacles, the first thing to note is you see one of the children has a pentacle, and then another pentacle. He has a pentacle on his shoulder, the old man does. There are two pentacles on the door of the house, protecting it. The wife, or possibly she is the old man's daughter, she has a pentacle on her bag, and then his throne has a bunch of pentacles. The youngest daughter, or youngest child, and the dog, this is an Irish Wolfhound, I think, neither of them have a pentacle. So in terms of, and people say this all the time when they talk about investing, that you should diversify, or that you should, not be dependent on one job for like your retirement account, your 401k, or like your finances, that you should have, passive income, or you should do a side hustle or whatever. So the Ten of Pentacles is basically talking about he's achieved everything. He looks tired, but he also looks kind of bored. Because he's got, family around him. He's got all these pentacles, all this money and material wealth. But he's kind of just sitting there. Sort of like, okay, I'm an old man now. What do I do? I've got everything I ever wanted, but now I'm bored. I'm tired. This maybe isn't quite what I wanted. So he's having a long think about it while he rests. And I get the feeling maybe you are too. With this Princess of Swords and this Chariot being in sideways instead of being in the upright. You're not in any rush to get this dream. You're not, this wish upon a star. You're slightly ambivalent towards it. So maybe your focus should be on what do you like about it and cutting out what you don't like about it. Maybe you should refine your dream a little bit more. Okay, so on the personal focus, we had a bunch of cards fall out again. They weren't angry today. They just fell. All at the same time and scattered. Unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately, they were in the reverse. So the first one was the Tower, which is the change and the transformation. And at the bottom of the deck, we also have death. Now, don't be afraid of death. It doesn't mean literal death, usually. All the tarot readers say it means transformation, the same as the Tower. I really actually like this death card. This guy's frozen or carved in the wood. This one is somehow pressed. He almost looks like Gingy in Shrek. He's somehow pressed into this bowl. I won't say what that looks like. There's a snake here that's trying to sort of peek in on what's going on. And she's got the skull, almost like Hamlet. Or kind of like Harry Potter. I don't agree with her teachings on other stuff. Although I did like Harry Potter when it first came out. So this is obviously the crone part of the goddess. It's almost Hecate because she's got the scythe. She's got, look at that, 3 columns and a henge on top. And that's a crow looking for its breakfast. Something's coming out of her cauldron. So this is a spell. This is transformation. This is changing. Like maybe the flesh is leaving the bones of something that's happening in your life. You're becoming lighter and airier. And this Tower, so that was at the bottom of the deck. Death was. The Tower is about sudden upheaval and change. These people are shocked because a storm comes out of this blue sky out of nowhere. Can't really tell if it's sunrise or sunset. It's in that in-between place. But the lightning bolt comes out of nowhere, strikes the Tower and starts a fire. And these people are either pushed out by the explosion. That would be my guess because it's basically taken part of the roof and part of the side of the building. Well, maybe he was pushed out, and yes, I'm gonna make the assumption that's a he wearing pants, and she was able to get her wits together and jump out the window. Either way, they're jumping into the lake around the tower, the moat. The moat is there for protection, not just to keep anybody from approaching the tower, but also to keep the people in the tower safe should anything happen. So the tower was in reverse. So this transformation, the sudden upheaval, isn't going to be so sudden. It's definitely going to be a transformation with the tower here and with death here. But it's not going to be like a major shock to you. It's not going to be something that you feel the need to jump out a window or something that pushes you out of a window. This is a good thing. So then we have Four of Wands in reverse. Some people say this is the marriage card. Let me look it up just in case. What else do they say it is? Well, this is also about transition, tension, instability. It's about not having inner harmony. It's also about a personal celebration. And you can see they put the wands over the fireplace. It almost looks like a maypole the way it's decorated with, or like a Yule wreath or a Christmas wreath, the way it's decorated with flowers. The flowers almost look like forget-me-not. That just crossed my mind, sorry. And it's a little off from the path. There's some rocks for people to sit on as they enjoy the fire or as they mind it. There's a house over here with the entrance facing towards the fire. You can see the fire from the entryway. But this came in reverse, with the tower in reverse and the death. So you're not in harmony in some way. And this has got to change. It's going to change, whether you want it to or not. Three of Pentacles also came in reverse. And Three of Pentacles is about skill building. It's mastering your craft. And he obviously looks like a stonemason. And these three people here who look very different, the one almost looks like a thief or like he's trying to be hidden somehow. And the other one looks quite judgmental. And this one, she just looks like she's watching. But it's really interesting how her hair almost looks like that snake in the picture of the death card. And the cat is doing what cats do and cuddling up to him while he's working. So in reverse with transformation and not being in harmony, your skill building, perhaps you need to do a little skill building on working with other people, or perhaps setting boundaries for yourself when it comes to what you will and won't do for other people. We also had Four of Cups. Also about contemplation. You're thinking it through. And I know we had Four of Cups and Queen of Cups yesterday or the day before. But now we have Queen and King, both of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, like I said, The moon is talking about the unconscious, is talking about emotions. You'll notice how the water there is quite still. Even when she's dipped her foot in, she's just testing the water, so to speak. She's just giving it a little try. She's not sure if she wants to go in, take a bath, if she wants to get a cup of water from it. She might even be offering up, I don't want to say a sacrifice, but she might be doing a ritual here. She's certainly meditating. She's in a very meditative state. Very calm and collected. And the King of Cups, he's sitting here on his throne. The way they came out, it was the Queen then the King. And so it almost makes them look like they're looking in two different directions. Whereas if he would have come out first, he would have been looking right at her. And it kind of looks like he might be in the paintings because the light from the moon would be coming in this direction. And it almost looks like that could be like a sunrise or a moonrise. But he's sitting there, he's got that wolfhound behind him. He's got the lyre, like Orpheus. But he hasn't returned from the dead yet. He doesn't have his queen quite with him yet. Almost, but not quite. His cup is the fanciest cup in the deck because it looks to be silver and gold. Which you would expect a king to have a fancy cup, but this one is different from all the other ones. And he's very attentive at whatever he's looking at out there. It's not her, because she came out first this time, so for you, he's got his back turned, and he's looking away. But he came in the reverse, and so did she. Let me read what the King of Wands, or King of Cups, sorry, is all about in case I missed something. Overactive imagination, unrealistic desires and disappointments. So, the contemplation, the skill building, this overactive imagination towards negative things. This being out of harmony, out of balance. If this were the halfway to marriage card, or if it were the marriage card, these two would be having a fight. They would be over emotional, overthinking things, but trying not to. Trying to get that balance, trying to get that skill set that they need to face this change and to come out on top. So like I said, at the bottom of the deck we had death, the transformation along with the tower, and the Four of Wands. Underneath that we had the Six of Cups. And the Prince of Pentacles. And then the Hermit. And the Sun. People say the Sun is the best card in the deck. It's rebirth. And you'll notice he's got that layer that the King has. So this King wants to have a rebirth, an emotional rebirth, a spiritual rebirth, because the cups are about, you know, the unconscious, about the emotion. They're about spirituality. So he's looking for this. He's looking for this. That Hound is kind of peeking out from behind his throne. Not too sure here. But even the Hound is kind of looking out for it. So with the Sun, it's going to be a happy ending. It's going to be a fresh new start. It will be a transformation. With the Hermit, you'll have to go inside and look to your own wisdom. Look to find your own path. The Prince of Pentacles is bringing news. He's bringing news about material things. He's bringing news about like money, a home. Could very well be a home with the Four of Wands and these King and Queen, and the reminiscing of the family, and the Six of Cups. But he's definitely bringing something. He's on the way. And all of those cups are full, except for the adults here, which we can't tell if it's full or not, but it's certainly not overflowing like the children's cups. It's not as joyful as they are. He looks kind of not just contemplated, but maybe a little worried. He looks a little rueful. And death. The transformation, the ending of something, to get this new beginning, to get moving on this way, to get this skill set. It's an interesting reading. I hope you have a great Wednesday. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself.